Hi, as you may know, I'm a culinary student. I love cooking, I love baking, I love everything about culinary. But one thing I also like to do is draw on my free time, um, such as stuff like this, like making stickers and stupid stuff. But basically, today, what I'm going to be talking about is why bread was so effective in World War II and how it affected me. So let's begin. So, my grandpa was born and raised in Russia. During World War II, this slim part of Russia was being overtaken by Germany. So, what was his idea for getting out of Russia? Well, I am glad you asked. So, as my grandpa was a very smart man, he prepared for this by going and figuring out what he needs. So obviously he said food is number one. Food is number one. Two, safety, and it doesn't really matter that much while there's a war going on. Three, he said warmth or clothing, because it was starting to become winter during the time, or it was coming close to becoming winter. And so with these three, he set off to find a new life. So, you may be asking, how did my grandpa escape from Russia? I'm glad you asked. So, as you can see here, he went through these two countries, had some trouble, but continued going forward. The only thing he had to eat was bread. Bread was rationalized a lot in World War II, and so he would get a lot of hate from other people as he ate lots and lots and lots of bread on the way to the Iron Curtain. Bread was very easy to make. We'll come back to this map. Bread was very easy to make, as all you would need is pre-cooked rice, maybe some sago, some potatoes, maybe some haricot, beans, or even some parsley. It was very easy to make. People were encouraged, actually, to make their own bread. This was actually called the national loaf. As this here was rationalized and our main source of food. Going back to this map, the only reason why my grandpa survived during this long walk, very long walk, but he also had a little help from some friends to get up here. The only reason why he survived for so long is because of bread. in water, of course, but most importantly, bread. He cooked his own bread on the ways up, and he did not stop. He kept cooking until he made it to the very top point right here, as I had just marked. Well, he went all the way up, so what is he going to do? There's no way to escape. Oh, but there is. At the end of the Iron Curtain, there's boats. He took a boat, stole a boat, and went all the way, hitting here at this country here. Then, once he took some supplies from there to make more bread, he hit here. Took more supplies for bread, then went back on track and went completely off this map, as you can see. Well, where did he go, you may ask? Well, of course, off to the United States. He went all the way on the East Coast to this small little state called New Jersey. Here on this map, you can see all the prisons in during World War II, as the United States kept Japanese, Germans, whoever they thought was suspicious to harm the United States at these areas. The only area that did not have any of these prisons was Nevada, Montana, and North Dakota. But once my grandpa got into New Jersey, imagine this is a very good drawing of New Jersey. He went right into the middle of New Jersey. Not the bottom where I just pointed, I'm sorry, into the middle. He did not go to the bottom, as he was not wanting to get himself more into the politics at the time of New Jersey, as during World War II, northern New Jersey was more liberal, which it still is, and southern New Jersey was more conservative, which it still is. Here, as I put an X here, this was where my grandpa and his new formerly wife that came with him to the United States as they escaped together had my mother. So my mother was born and raised in New Jersey, but that is a different story. My grandpa, once he had my parents in New Jersey, they actually moved from New Jersey all the way over to California. They did not go through Michigan like that. That's an over-exaggeration. I should be more. They went through the bottom part, through Kentucky, through Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, a little bit of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and then to the bottom part, right there. But you may ask, how did he get there when he just got here and started a family? Well, bread. Bread is the only reason why my grandpa is still alive today. He said that during World War II, bread was a stable belly filler. And you want to know how much? 2 loaves. Only 2 loaves is what it took for a stable belly filler. Crazy, right? Most of the food I make today involves bread. Such as, simple things like for kids, grilled cheeses that are basically just a square of bread and cheese, little cheese. Imagine that's really good cheese drawing. And other things such as, like garlic bread, something that I love making. Garlic bread is absolutely amazing. One of my favorite things to make. But without these, would I even be born? Is that the question? Well, no. My grandfather would not have been alive and would have died on the way to the Iron Curtain. And then my mother would not be born, or I would be born and have a different family and whatsoever. But here, if my grandfather did not have bread, I believe I would not be alive today. So, to end this story, now, as a culinary arts student, one thing that I love doing is baking. Baking is honestly the most fun thing I can ever do, because it reminds me of my grandpa and how his story relates into my life. And these two connect all because of bread. I am a shock that just bread could help my family become what it is. And without this, my family would have not even been started. But this is how I look at history while I am cooking or baking or doing anything that is culinary related. I relate history to my life, and I do not realize it until I sit down and I really think about it. So bread is honestly honestly the best food ever. Bread is filled with just straight carbs. It's good for you if you're trying to bulk. And honestly, if you've seen me, I'm pretty skinny. So I need to eat protein and carbs, but bread, best thing you can eat if you are trying to, survive. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this short little brief explanation of how US history affects my life and what I do in cooking. Thank you.